Thanks to President Trump's trade war on China, Chinese manufacturers are now trying to sell high-end luxury goods like handbags directly to Americans on TikTok. Fox 11's Gina Silva is live in Beverly Hills with that part of the story.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. Cardi B's recent streak of setbacks seems to be stacking higher by the day. First came headlines about a public separation from Offset. Then, her rumored relationship with NFL star Stefon Diggs faced online speculation. Now, reports are surfacing that her cherished Hermès bags, long considered a luxury staple, might actually be mass-produced knockoffs made in China. For years, these bags have symbolized success and emotional reassurance. But now, like other aspects of her public image, they're facing scrutiny.
Gina. Laura, I don't know if you've seen the videos, but they are wild. And I got to tell you, many American consumers are loving it because why not? Who doesn't love a good deal, right?
Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China.
Want to know who's the Chinese factory behind Nike, Adidas, Fila, and EGG?
Industry insiders have begun questioning the authenticity of several high-profile collections. This shift marks more than just a fashion controversy. It signals what many are calling an emotional recession among the elite. But this story doesn't end with one artist's handbags. It opens a much broader discussion. As U.S.-China trade tensions continue to escalate, the global luxury goods industry has been thrust into an unprecedented exposure crisis. Now, celebrities are being pulled into the fallout. One of the most vocal names weighing in, Kim Kardashian. The fashion and business mogul stepped in to say, "I know everyone would love it to be true, but it's not." Her comment only added fuel to an already chaotic moment in the world of high-end branding and authenticity. Kim Kardashian kept it corporate and composed, issuing a carefully worded public statement. Her response sounded more like a press release than a personal reaction. Then came Kylie Jenner, known for subtle reveals, who simply wrote, "This is so crazy." Minimalist, vague, but enough to stir her following. Surprisingly, Zendaya, usually quiet during drama, offered a rare comment. Well, definitely her black not speaking. When someone as reserved as Zendaya steps into the conversation, the tension has clearly reached a tipping point. Model Bella Hadid also added her voice, cautioning, "Anyone can go online and say this true." But her statement left people wondering, was she denying the claims or just questioning the rumors? Naomi Campbell, on the other hand, wasn't holding back. The fashion icon said, "This is so disrespectful to all the craftsmanship behind these brands." Period. Naomi stood firmly in defense of designer artisans and their work. Then things took an even more unexpected turn. Enter Tanner Leatherstein, the internet's self-appointed leather authenticity expert. Known across TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, Tanner gained fame by cutting open designer bags worth thousands, just to judge their quality. His videos compare luxury textures to dollar store lunch bags. Some tried to blame the China rumors on Tanner, but he quickly shut that down. "Y'all need to relax," he said. "I never said Hermès or LVMH bags are made in China."
All over TikTok, Chinese influencers are taking viewers behind the scenes, exposing what they claim is a real origin of high-end luxury goods. The viral videos are shaking up traditional luxury branding and destroying consumer trust, revealing that many designer products are actually manufactured in Chinese factories, with only the labels stitched on somewhere else. All of these videos suddenly started showing up all over social media after President Trump announced high tariffs on China. While many American consumers are seeing this as a huge score on designer goods, Professor Christopher Tang of UCLA's Anderson School of Management.
"I just test the quality. Luxury or not, I call it like I see it." And that's when the conversation escalated even further. Now the conversation's heating up even more. Critics are asking the obvious. If Chinese manufacturers are telling the truth, then where's the proof? Where are the emails, invoices, shipping logs, or manufacturing records? These are fair questions. Without receipts, it's speculation. But let's be honest, exposing luxury clients could be career-ending. Manufacturers aren't likely to bite the designer hand that feeds them. After all, these bags are supposed to remain top secret. No one buying a $25,000 purse wants to hear it was stitched up next to a mass-produced fast fashion item. That does not align with the elite branding. Still, luxury loyalists are firing back with full academic energy. One social media user joked, "People think an 85-year-old 7th-generation artisan named Giotto makes those bags by hand." The name drop? Pure satire. The implication? People have elevated luxury craftspeople into mythical figures. This raises the central question. Why are some defending these brands like it's life or death? It's revealing. There's an emotional investment here that runs deep. For many, identity and status are tightly intertwined with designer logos and brand perception. Someone commented, "You mean to tell me that man is making your Birkin in China? If he's a Birkin artisan, then I'm an astronaut." The sarcasm shows just how much disbelief and humor is fueling this backlash. To really understand why this is a crisis for some, just look at the public reactions. For many luxury fans, these bags aren't just accessories, they're symbols, status, prestige. And when that illusion cracks, emotions run high. There's a viral video making the rounds. A shopper nearly faints with joy after buying her Hermès bag. She calls it a life moment. Now imagine telling her that her treasured purse might have cost $400 to produce in a Shenzhen factory. That's how a designer slap across the face feels, monogram included. Hello? 55 on the cheek? This is exactly why so many luxury consumers are spiraling. Their carefully curated designer image is under threat. It's like their Dior heel just snapped mid-step. And yes, TikTok is in full meltdown mode. After Chinese factory workers started posting videos claiming they're producing high-end, made in France, and crafted in Italy bags, the internet went into full shock.
Says the videos may not be as honest as they seem.
It could be counterfeit or imitated products as well. So in that case, there's no consumer protection. These are not the authorized luxury brand channel. So in that case, the buyers, you have to beware of the risk.
This is my fake Louis bag. I take it everywhere I go. I love it. Years ago I had the opportunity to actually go to Beijing, and that is when I found out exactly what the game was.
We're not talking about standard totes or mid-tier accessories. These are the exclusive $7,000 and up designer bags. The kind that require scheduling an appointment just to be told, maybe you're worthy of buying. Now, luxury buyers who believed they were carrying Parisian sophistication are wondering if their prized bags originated under fluorescent lights in Gusu's industrial zones. Reports claim that some of these designer handbags allegedly cost around $400 to manufacture. Yet they're sold at luxury boutiques for upwards of $7,000. And that's before adding gold-plated hardware or limited edition tags. That markup has many feeling like they've been duped in broad daylight. These viral TikToks are surfacing like emotional exposés. Viewers are reacting as if they just discovered their cherished bags had secrets. Secrets that sting. One day it's luxury romance, the next it's heartbreak over embossed leather. The betrayal hits like catching someone red-handed, and they still say, "It wasn't me." Now take a moment to empathize. Imagine saving for months, maybe even skipping meals or skipping out on trips, just to get your hands on that one perfect bag. Maybe you even split the cost over payments, fully aware you'd be living off instant noodles for weeks to come. You finally step inside that sleek boutique, palms sweating, knees shaking, heart racing. You think you're purchasing timeless craftsmanship, steeped in history and tradition, but now you're wondering if that exclusivity came straight off a conveyor belt. This wasn't just about a sweater and mom's spaghetti. This wasn't M&M. It was the moment someone walked into a boutique, fully prepared to risk it all. And then they walked out with the bag, a Birkin, Chanel, Gucci, one of those that makes strangers glance twice and family members whisper, "Wait, how much was that again?" Thousands, maybe tens of thousands, spent in the name of luxury. Because it wasn't just a bag, it was supposed to be artisanal, handcrafted, sewn by French grandmothers under candlelight while sipping espresso, blessed by monks in Milan. Or so the myth goes. But now, Chinese manufacturers are challenging that entire fantasy. They're releasing factory videos, detailed pricing breakdowns, side-by-side comparisons, and even step-by-step tutorials on how these bags are allegedly assembled. Suddenly, the internet isn't just watching, it's unraveling. Luxury lovers are spiraling like their very identity was snatched alongside their overpriced accessories. The emotional damage is real. And while these claims haven't all been verified, some could be about replicas, others from disgruntled former employees chasing clout, the impact has already landed.
I went to factories where they had nothing but floors of Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, Nike, Adidas, Apple products. And that's where I learned directly from the vendors that, hey, this is the same thing. You're just paying for a label and repackaging in the U.S.
Now, if you order directly from a Chinese factory, you don't have to pay a tariff, and that only applies to commercial imports. So that is a huge draw, Laura.
Did you by any chance get to see any of this merchandise?
No, these are just videos, right? The only merchandise I saw was the purse from Jasmine, which looks really beautiful.
The luxury world is experiencing its own meltdown, complete with Oscar-worthy levels of denial and defense. Online, users are defending their favorite designer brands, like they're defending dynasties. It's not just House of Gucci anymore, it's giving House of Breakdown. And this apparently is only the beginning. The rabbit hole goes deep, and it's not for the faint of heart. Some are in full regret mode, canceled vacations, skipped luxuries, months of ramen and financial gymnastics, all just to touch a slice of what was marketed as true luxury. Only to discover that what they bought might have been produced for less than the cost of a pair of sneakers. It's giving identity crisis across the board. While some shoppers spiral, others seem fully locked into denial mode, defending luxury bags like a scandalized relationship. "That's not my bag," they shout. "It's still iconic." Defenses are flying like designer scarves in a wind tunnel. But let's really address the part nobody's saying out loud. These reactions, they actually make perfect sense. Because luxury has never just been about the bag. Luxury has always been about the illusion, the fantasy, the velvet exclusivity, the soft lighting, the doorman who greets you with a madam, like you're royalty. It's the bougie pageantry of being handed a lukewarm glass of sparkling water while you wait 40 minutes to even touch a $25,000 coin purse. That kind of ritual builds a whole aura around the object. It's not about fabric and thread, it's about walking into brunch, bag first, and watching the room pause mid-bite. That bag, it's silent currency, a power signal, a declaration of status, a vibe. But then a Chinese factory worker hops on TikTok with the real talk. $372 in materials, $50 labor, $50 packaging, and suddenly the internet learns the emperor has no stitching. And it stings. Badly. The type of emotional blow that hits in HD. Call your best friend, scream into a pillow, stare at your closet kind of pain. This isn't just a story about handbags. It's about trust being fractured in real time. And here's the twist. The fashion insiders, they already knew. The ones reading the fine print on face creams and watching factory expose breakdowns like detective series, they clocked this tea long ago. What's new isn't the truth. It's that everyone finally knows. And when the curtain drops for the masses, that illusion doesn't just fade, it shatters. The shock hits different when the sparkle dims in full daylight. It confirms that quiet voice you've always tried to silence, the one that asks, "Wait, is this bag really worth all that?" And that's where this story gets real. Because luxury isn't just a product, it's a feeling.
And she said she spent a couple of $100s, and that, of course, retails for thousands of dollars.
Right. So it's a marketing campaign. They're hoping to lure you in, and it certainly does draw you in. But usually, these designers will tell you that you have to look at it very closely to see the stitching, how the zipper works. All of that usually indicates the quality of the garment. So maybe at some point we'll get to see some of these that are supposedly directly coming to the consumer.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Gina Sibba.
An identity, a symbol of status and silent validation, whispering, "You've made it." There's even a psychological term for it, symbolic consumption. It means people don't just wear items for function. They wear them for meaning, for narrative. That exclusive piece becomes a badge of achievement, of belonging, of self-definition. So when someone claims that a $25,000 Birkin might have been made for $400, it doesn't just hit the wallet, it hits the core. That's a soul punch. Your brain instinctively resists it, clinging to the belief, this wasn't a mistake, this was a legacy. But then come the spirals, denial, defense, disbelief, and yes, full-blown outrage. Because nothing stings quite like realizing you may have paid 5 figures for a luxury item built in the same factory that assembles lunchboxes. And suddenly, the stitchwork feels a little less sacred. But let's call it what it really is. It's a scandal, and not a new one. The whispers have been circling the industry for years. Still, the way this scandal broke, that's where things take a sharp turn. This whole expose might be more than just a manufacturing slip-up. It could be retaliation, a response to an economic war brewing quietly behind trade agreements. When the US imposed steep tariffs on Chinese goods, tensions soared. The luxury world felt that strain hard. And now, instead of public press conferences or diplomatic channels, factory insiders decided to fight back with TikToks, screenshots, videos, and invoices. Not just exposing secrets, but doing it with precision and timing, like a digital mic drop. So maybe it wasn't sabotage. Maybe it was a statement, an insider rebellion, a calculated way to say, you mess with our coin, we'll expose yours. And that's what makes this twist so diabolical, because it's petty, powerful, and playing out in public. So let's talk about those insane luxury markups, because honestly, no surprise there. Fashion has always been part business, part performance art. If someone can tape a banana to a wall and sell it for $1 million because it's art, then yes, Hermès charging $30,000 for a handbag is just another version of the same game. It's branding, storytelling, and image, all wrapped in leather and stitching. So now the question becomes, what should consumers do with this info? Should the bags be tossed into a bonfire in protest? Should shoppers turn to dupes on discount websites? Maybe not that dramatic, but somewhere in the middle. Because the answer isn't to cancel luxury. It's to question it. Ask where your bag was made. Ask who made it. Ask why it costs that much. Ask why the markup is so steep and why that matters. And most importantly, stop treating every overpriced handbag like it was hand-woven by ancient fashion gods with unicorn hair and the tears of Karl Lagerfeld himself. You can still love your designer bags, but you should also love knowing the truth. It doesn't mean you need to boycott every luxury house. Go buy that Hermès if you want to. Just know what you're actually buying and what it really costs behind the scenes. Because while your closet might be full of designer pieces, the only thing that should be crying is maybe the bank account, not your sense of identity. Look, maybe the fashion industry just got caught with its silk pants down. But if we're honest, that glitter has been peeling for a while now. And you can still love fashion while holding it accountable. You can still flex while knowing what you're flexing. Let's not hate, let's taste with a backbone. And as for the online meltdown, it'll pass. The group chats will cool, the TikToks will scroll on, and the drama will fade. So don't toss the bag, just carry it with awareness. Now touch up that gloss, smooth those edges, and stay alert. Because the runway might be glossy, but behind the curtains, it's giving something else entirely. If this exposed a little too much truth for comfort, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another story that keeps it real. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you still carrying your luxury bags proudly? Or did this revelation make you double-check that stitching? Stay sharp, stay stylish, and don't get played.